We got to talk about the book, man. Yeah. We got to talk about the book.
What do you want to talk about? We can talk about the book.
Sure, we can talk about the book. I was very excited about that. I just sold to Simon & Schuster, I guess at the beginning of the year, and I just turned in my first draft, got notes back, and it will be coming out in June of next year.
What's it about?
It's called I'm Glad My Mom Died. I know it's a harsh title. It is a memoir, which also I get sounds kind of crazy because I'm only 28, but it's very much covering kind of my childhood and adolescence and being famous at a young age, my relationship with my mom, abusive relationship, if you hadn't already guessed, and it's darkly comedic. So it's definitely not just like, there's a lot of heavy subject matter, but it's done in a comedic way that hopefully doesn't undermine the subject matter, but that just makes it a little lighter and more approachable.
How do you go about writing a book? Is this something you've wanted to do, or is this something?
It's something I've wanted to do. Yeah, I wanted to be a writer since I was, like, that's what I would have chosen to do. Psychologist or writer, I think, had I not had my mom and not had that kind of her agenda for me. But prior to the book, I'd written mostly like short films, feature film, like definitely script format. But for the book, I had actually done a one-woman show that already kind of had the framework and the structure built in. So I took some of that and then obviously expanded on a lot more because the one-woman show was an hour and this book is, much longer than that.
How do you go about writing a book like that?
I mean, every day I have a schedule set where I just, I usually don't even look at my phone before like 1 p.m. And I just, first thing when I wake up, I write as many words as I usually try to have a word count in mind. I think 1,500 words a day is what I aim for. And for this, it was because it was my life. This structure was, like I said, kind of very built in. So yeah, outlining first, though, definitely matters.
Is it hard to write about yourself?
I find it really important to the projects that I do. I can't think of a single thing that hasn't been. There have been a few features that I've written that aren't like drawn from my life, but everything has to be drawn personally, like from a deep personal place, for me at least. I find that passion or that sort of connection to the material to be so important in order to see it through to the end, because there's so many ups and downs, and it in this business is just like such a long process. Any project takes so long and there's so many hurdles to go over that, like, if you don't have a connection, I couldn't imagine staying invested in something if I didn't feel like there was something that I needed to sort of exercise it out of myself, or something that I wanted to share with others that hopefully might connect with. I just don't think it'd be possible if I was just like, whipping something out of thin air that I didn't relate to in a deep way.
That sounds fascinating.
It does.
Sounds like a really good book.
Yeah, I've wanted to do a book at some point, but I feel like it's just, I don't know I would probably talk about early retirement, something along those lines, but it's just even starting, it seems so daunting to do. At one point I want to do it, but I also feel too young. I know you, really? I feel like you've had so many other experiences that you could write about. I feel like, you got to be like 50 usually. Like you have to have lived more, but you've experienced a lot.
I would disagree with that, especially if you're coming, it seems like, because you would want to talk about finance and all the things that you do, and I feel like there's such a gap missing, because every time I walk past the personal finance section, it's like a 60-year-old man telling me tip, and I'm like, I don't relate to this person. I feel like you'd hit a different audience.
Maybe.
You don't think? You disagree?
Maybe because the audience is on YouTube. Like, those people under 35 are probably not reading books or probably watching YouTube videos.
I would disagree. I'm curious what people would say. I feel like
you're gonna get a very skewed answer there because they're on YouTube. What do you think? Do you YouTube?
But I don't think you can be. I think you can do both. I'm sure there's a lot of people on YouTube that would order a book off of Amazon or
I want to be a New York Times bestseller. Yeah. And I didn't realize it takes 10,000 copies to be a New York Times bestseller.
Okay.
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you would be able to say you'd sell 10,000 copies, which I have no doubt you'd be able to do. New York Times bestseller.
Wait, I thought it was also based on like reviews and things like that. I mean, I have no idea, but
I thought it was just 10,000.
How did you find this out? This is crazy.
Google.
Wasn't it Clonan's Mirror that told us that?
Yes, maybe that was it. Yeah. You have to sell 5,000 to 10,000 copies of a book in a week.
But 5 to 10?
Yeah. What if you sell more?
If you have a link or something that we could put in the description, people could pre-order.
Oh, cool.
Or maybe give their email, whatever you have set up, we'll link to that.
Thanks. I'll see if that's possible. Mm-hmm. Appreciate that.